Hey guys, welcome to our channel. We've been decoding now Spin Doctor's Two Princes, and I will link our explanation video up in case we got somebody who doesn't quite know what's going on. It's only missing the point that uh, of the fact that with our method we're operating on the theory that some of these changes are being caused by quantum computers. And I got to thinking if that were true, that the changes might be a code, and we've been decoding since then. And we've already got through spin doctors. This was already in effect. And it was like 0.62% variance, I believe, and fit right into the green pattern on our chart. And we got this to go forwards and backwards in finance, hit a bunch of stock market companies, including Identilect Technologies, which I said I was going to look into, and I have. And they're a software company. Now, the other thing I found on them is they have several private owners, but they didn't specify who those private owners may be that could influence things. And maybe there is something to them, but as far as I can tell, they make software. So and now what we had was says turn to said in the song, one's turn to one, and love's turn to loved. All right, this was already in effect. We found and did. And so if you cross off SA and SA, you get YS and ID. So we brought YSID down and crossed off the one ONE because they're alike and took the S down, and then crossed LOVE and LOVE off, and you got an SD, and we brought ST down or SD down. YSIDSSD, and again YSID South Dakota was what I saw right away when we did this, because I had a kid that died of SIDS, an infant son that died of SIDS when I was 18. So, and I also predicted SIDS was going to be in the genetic search. And so we have YSI, and YSI ends up being a protein gene in tobacco, protein coding gene, I suppose. A single nucleotide change in the coat protein gene of tobacco, mosaic virus, is involved in the induction of severe chlorosis. So you got a little something going on with that. A protein gene. We've had protein genes before, not necessarily in tobacco, right? But then if you can back that up and you got the Y by itself, and we all know Y chromosome, and I'll provide a link on that. We've had that before. It could be a coincidence by itself. But then you wind up with SIDS, which I ran, SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, and yes, there's a whole page on the background of SIDS, genetic alterations that may cause sudden infant death. So there's all sorts of stuff here on SIDS, which, again, I kind of predicted that would be the case, and it is. So then you have SD, which ends up being genetics of human growth, and you got to scroll down a little bit before you find standard deviation of growth. So yes, you could hit a lot. Yeah, charts and everything else they can hit. Major growth gene is in here. So yeah, you got all sorts of stuff with that. And that got you through going forwards in genetics. And now coming back, DSS is a bi-clustering method to identify diverse and state-specific gene modules in gene expression data. We get all that? And yes, and there's a whole thing here. There's an abstract. There's all, and you can read all about it. I probably will later. So, and then you move on from that, and you have DI. And DI ends up being nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. So again, another genetic problem, disease, whatever you want to call it. And SIDS was there too, right? Another genetic problem. And you can read all about that. I'm not really, I think we all know what diabetes is. And this is diabetes is a disorder of water balance. The body normally balances fluid intake with the excretion of fluid in urine. However, people with nephrogenic diabetes insipidus produce too much urine, which causes them to be excessively thirsty. Affected individuals can quickly become dehydrated if they do not drink enough water, especially in hot weather or when they are sick. So yeah, and it can be acquired or hereditary. It can be either or. So there's a little bit on that. So I guess it's not your typical diabetes. And then you got SY. And SY, yep, is the original shaker with syndactylism mutation. Syndactylism mutation. I ain't gonna try to pronounce that again. But it's is a contiguous gene deletion syndrome. So there again, you have another genetic problem. Contiguous gene deletion syndrome. So that gets you through going forwards and backwards, and that takes you through genetics. And, you know, nothing really points to anything so far. We'll see. I mean, I thought Identilect. I haven't ruled them out, but the fact they just do software, and now we got, you know, but it's interesting because whatever is going on so far, we've got, you know, not quite a whole page of data, but quite a bit of data there. I mean, just out of 2 searches, we ran it through the ringer in stock market, and now we've ran it through the ringer in genetics. We'll hit chemical, and we might as well go ahead and do technology while we're at it as another category, because who knows what we're missing. And random hits and translations. I'll be a little interested in the translation end of this. And then we'll do numerological numbers and binary code and see if we can find a pattern of anybody who may have used a quantum computer for during this change, or that coded this change. So that's going to be it for now. We're through genetics and stock market or finance, and more to come. So thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.